Cardano is going to absolutely dominate 2025, and it might not be for the reasons that you expect. If you are new to this channel, we cover a lot of crypto stuff, specifically Cardano specific stuff. And I want to give you three major reasons why Cardano is going to have an absolutely explosive 2025 and why I am moving a lot of my crypto money, or why over the past couple of years, I've invested a lot of money into the Cardano ecosystem. Also, if you're new to this channel, in the description is the Crypto 100x Blueprint. It is my exact 7 step-by-step process to trying to pick 100x altcoin. Now, we're not always going to get perfectly there, but that is my way that I'm doing it this cycle. If you want to have that information, download it in the description below. But the first reason why I think Cardano has an explosive 2025 and absolutely dominates 2025 is actually not for price. It's not for this reason right here. We all love charts, but charts and price is actually the last thing you want to look at. It's actually our third thing on this list. The first big reason that Cardano is going to absolutely dominate in 2025 is that it has the fundamentals. It has the base principles that a good blockchain, a good investment needs from a retail investor's perspectives. Now, what do I mean by fundamentals? What do I mean by the base principles? It's the staking model, it's the ledger model, it's the decentralization, it's the tokenomics. And on Cardano, we have all three of these. We have all four of them. We have however many there are. In this tweet, you can see I talked about Cardano, comparing it versus Ethereum, and you can see just kind of the technology Cardano is working with. It's proof of stake, but it's liquid staking, so you don't have to lock your tokens up. It has a UTXO model ledger versus accounts-based model ledger. Both are good ledger models. They just have different trade-offs. Down here, we can see in the accounts-based or the UTXO model, you have a little bit more security, a little bit easier blockchain state, better processing because, especially parallel processing because of how the UTXO model works. And so Cardano has its own unique advantages. It doesn't have requirements on a validator. So for Ethereum or other blockchains, you need X amount of tokens or X amount of money to run a validator. On Cardano, anyone can run a stake pool, which is a blockchain validator. So Cardano has all these unique things. It has Haskell as a programming language to kind of mitigate the bugs in the code, mitigate hacks. It also has no gas fees, which was a huge selling point for me in 2021 when I really got started in crypto. I was comparing, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and a bunch of other ones. Like, where was I going to put my money? And because of the combination of all these base principles, Cardano really shone through as the core place I wanted to focus. Now, yes, I have Bitcoin, yes, I have Ethereum, but Cardano is going to dominate in 2025 simply because of the kinds of things that it does at its base level. Proof of stake, stake pool, delegation. Now we have governance. The way that the blockchain works is very novel and unique and very counterintuitive to a lot of the other blockchains in the crypto space. Even its token distribution is a little bit more in line with what I think retail investors should be looking at. You want, as a retail investor, cap supply tokens that are not going to dilute you over inflation and have a majority of their tokens out to the public or that are in circulating supply especially. Cardano checked these boxes for me at the same time as well. It has a max supply of 45 billion ADA, and at the time, when it was created, about 70 or 80% of those tokens were out in the public. So there's not a lot of people dropping tokens on the ecosystem. There's not a lot of circulating supply increase. There's not a very hard queue to get tokens, right? It's fair, it's distributed, it's open. These are what good retail blockchains are kind of based on. And so for the first thing in this video, why I think Cardano dominates is it checks these boxes that I think are very important. At least for me, I try to be an intelligent investor in crypto. And when I try to be an intelligent investor, certain investments just make sense. And I think Cardano just makes sense to me and a lot of other people in the retail space. So I think we're going to see money flow there. And I think Cardano continues to do well, regardless of what people say or what people think. Now, the second thing that Cardano is actually going to do really well in 2025, where it dominates, is its 2025 specific goals. The first big goal that Cardano has is this idea of governance. This is the Cardano governance website. And on here, there's the big goal is governance, right? Governing a blockchain hasn't really been done to this scale that Cardano is trying to do it. Cardano is really trying to do it like as a democracy, as a global government. And so there's a lot of things that we're going to have to test and battle test and reiterate on in 2025 in Cardano. You can see, you can already come in here and pick a delegate, right? Pick a D-rep that you can delegate your voting power to. I have a delegate that I like, and we're going to make a video on how to actually go through this process and pick someone and do the delegation, because I know it's a little bit confusing, but you can either become a D-rep, a delegate, or you can find someone. And then after that, you can come in here and you can see governance actions that are currently happening on Cardano. Now, governance on Cardano is not going to be an easy thing. It's you have to expect something like this is going to be hard. But this is a big thing in 2025, and you can already see we have this first big governance proposal that can be voted on, and you can view the details. And it's basically like the second Chang hard fork. So the Chang hard fork was always a 2 hard fork upgrade. This is the second of the 2, and this is the first big governance action on Cardano. So in 2025 specific goals, we have governance, we have catalyst, we have this whole idea of bringing democracy and government and constitution to the blockchain within Cardano and getting everyone around the world involved, right? Raising ADA voter count and raising participation. These are all massive hurdles. And then the other big thing that 2025 is specifically focusing on is the scalability of the Cardano blockchain. You can see up here, we have all these layer 2 scaling solutions Cardano is diving into. And over the past couple of years, when people were saying Cardano is not scaling, it's not scalable, Cardano is actually doing the work to become scalable. So Cardano can't be scalable unless it has the proper fundamentals of decentralization, the proper tokenomics, the proper XYZ. All this stuff has to be in place before scalability becomes the next major issue. So we finally reached that point in 2025 where Cardano scaling is the next big issue. And you can see all the solutions that are being worked on and are supposedly coming into fruition in the 2025, maybe early 2026 era. So we have side chains, we have Hydra, which is working and doing 1 million transactions per second. We have Mithril, which is the layer 2 solution built into Cardano. And then we also have off-chain computing and all these other things. You can think of that as like Midnight and partner chains and side chains, and bringing things like Polkadot as a side chain to Cardano, or working with all of these other major companies. This is the next big thing that Cardano is working on. And 2025 is the year that the chain continues to scale. Not only do we have this, but we also have things like Plutus version 3, which is the 3rd iteration of the Cardano programming language. Every time we get a new Plutus script, it becomes easier to program, it becomes more efficient to program, and the smart contracts and the coding language and execution becomes a lot more streamlined on Cardano. This means faster transactions, easier transactions, more batching, better everything. In here, you can kind of read a little bit more. We have parallel sidechains on Cardano. We have Hydra, which is kind of like a closed loop layer 2 solution. Then we have Mithril, which is like an open loop layer 2 solution. And what I really like about Mithril is that Cardano is getting a layer 2 solution that is built by input output. So instead of having like another blockchain being an L2 on top of Cardano, Cardano is building the L2 within itself. And so it's all part of the Cardano blockchain. To me, I think that's a very good use case and a very good thing. I wouldn't want to have like some other group, some other company, some other blockchain with their own token building an L2 on Cardano. I just want it to all be contained within Cardano. So we have all these things going on. We have things like the Midnight Network being the first big partner chain or side chain on Cardano. That is the big thing for 2025. Right after governance, scalability and governance are the massive goals for 2025. That's not it though. I did say we're going to talk about price. So these first two things, Cardano principles, Cardano base fundamentals that it works on, is just bullish in itself. It's like owning Bitcoin. The base fundamentals are bullish. The second thing is that what is happening in 2025 in Cardano is actually a big deal. Governance for Cardano blockchain, governance for any blockchain at that scale is a big deal. And then the scaling of Cardano, people always have said scaling on Cardano is a giant priority. Well, it's getting tackled right now, right? It is in process right now. Ouroboros Laus, Ouroboros Praus, that is all in the works. So that is 2025. That is a massive thing that people have been wanting and will make Cardano just even better. The third and final major thing why Cardano absolutely dominates 2025 is this chart right here. And the same thing can be said about a lot of altcoins, a lot of cryptos, right? Their price is in range of going up right now. We have had a slow December, but the slow December was expected. This was December 2024. You can see right here, December of 2020, we had the exact same thing, a slow December for the Cardano blockchain before the next major rise up. January and February were amazing months, and then we got this 1 month later in the year that doubled price. But this chart and a lot of altcoins charts and where we are in the crypto cycle is just a magical spot to be. So Cardano has the reason and the expectation to absolutely dominate because it is about to go into its January, February, and then like March area where it absolutely explodes in price and goes from like $1 to, in my opinion, could be up here at around $3 by the end of February. And so Cardano price discovery is in that range right now. It has a lot of momentum against the USD chart and is holding a lot of support levels with moving averages, RSIs, all that stuff. Not only that, though, is it is getting higher against Bitcoin. This is the ADA Bitcoin chart. This is what happened in 2019, 2020. And then you see what happened in 2021. Cardano got back up here to about it's like the 5,000 Satoshi level, somewhere in here. And so you can see what's happening right now. Cardano is making its way up, trying to get up higher against the Bitcoin chart. And probably the biggest worry that you would want to look at if you're looking at this chart is this little downturn that happened last cycle. You see we pumped, which is what we're doing right now, and then we had a downturn. The question is, does this happen? I'm not necessarily convinced it does happen this cycle so far, mostly because of how long our bear market was and how condensed we have to fit all of this into the next cycle. But the overall core theme is that Cardano is going up against the dollar and has no reason to come down, right? The crypto cycle has no reason to come down so far. We can see that Bitcoin is going up against the dollar, and based on the cycle timing, it has no reason to come down significantly, under like $70,000 as of right now. So that is in an upwards trajectory as well. We have ADA Bitcoin, which is in an upwards trajectory. It could come down a little bit. I wouldn't be scared of it because of what happened last cycle, but we're watching this play out, and overall the trend is going to be upwards. And then ADA dominance, this is another big one. You can see what happened last cycle. ADA dominance came up, chilled for a little bit, and then absolutely rocketed in 2021. This is another thing that is playing out the exact same way. It's holding the moving average right here, and you can only expect ADA dominance to come back here up to around the 3 or 4% level. So ADA, Cardano, the ecosystem, the price, all has a lot of reasons to dominate in 2025, and that is where I have placed my investments. And that's kind of the reasons why. If you haven't gotten the Crypto 100x blueprint, down in the description, and you want to know a little bit more about how I pick Cardano native tokens or any native token on any chain to possibly 100x my portfolio, get that in the description. Other than that, this is why I think Cardano dominates in 2025. Obviously, we can go a lot deeper into all of these specific points. So if you want me to dive deeper into any specific one, leave it in the comment. Other than that, look out for our next video. It's going to be on picking or something about the best Cardano native tokens to be looking at right now. That's always exciting. I love talking about Cardano native tokens and the price potential that they have. So this is why I think Cardano dominates in 2025. I hope everyone watching this video had a great Christmas and a great holidays, and we will see you in the next one.